Hey, everybody. Hi. Oh, wow. I am so excited to be with you. My name is Bridget Shaw, National Sales Director. And when I got the call from Karen to be one of the speakers for Boss Babes 2025 and Blazing the Trail edition, of course I said yes, because this program has just been so valuable for so many people. And so, yes, again, Karen, thank you for putting out and producing this amazing program. So, you guys, let me tell you, when I started my Mary Kay business, I was in my 20s. My husband and I were both finishing up degrees. I was finishing my accounting degree. He was in seminary. We were both working full-time jobs. We had a 1-year-old. And so we had to figure out how to make a lot of things work. I met National Sales Director Emeritus Kathy Halou while I was on vacation. And I was in the midst of trying to figure out life. I wanted more. I wanted more money. I wanted flexibility and friends, all the things that Mary Kay had to offer. I just didn't know anything about Mary Kay. And so when she approached me, it was almost like a fast no, but I'm so grateful that my husband was there and nudged me and said, you should try this business because it has become very much a family business. And so I will tell you that when I came home to start my business, I found that there was a little hiccup for me. And this was my blazing of the trail, you guys. My hiccup was that I worked from 3 until 11 because I went to school in the morning. And my husband worked midnight because he went to school in the morning so that someone would be there with Kayla after, I guess it was aftercare, daycare, something, I don't know. But anyway, and so our schedules were not traditional. And at that time, everything that was done for training and for recognition, all the things that were in place to build a business, those things happened while I was at work. And so we had to create a way for me to stay connected. And it really came down to sheer will and desire. I'm so grateful that my recruiter was able to paint a vision of what Mary Kay would do for my family. I'm so grateful that my adoptive sales director, Agnes Stewart at the time, taught me how to create an anchor and hold on. And what I mean by that is I created a desire and a goal board of what it was I wanted from my Mary Kay business. And I so wanted to be able to work full time and to bring home an executive income. And so the visualization of that anchor was that whenever things didn't feel like they were going the way I wanted them to go, I was anchored. And then the vision part of what Mary Kay had to offer, my recruiter, her lifestyle, her beliefs were aligned with mine. God first, family second, career third, just like Mary Kay, the business, opportunity, the model. And so all of those things created a very strong desire for me. So what I'm saying is, as you're blazing the trail for your business, you've got to figure out what it is that you really, really, really want. And that way you become unshakable, right? Because when you're building a business, you're going to have unexpected things that will come up. And that is when you need an anchor. And so for me, in blazing this trail of figuring out how to work my business and stay connected, even though I was unable to go to events, I had to find different ways. And so I had to find a way to stay plugged into my leader. So you can imagine there were a lot of phone calls, there were a lot of emails going out. And whenever I held an appointment, I would call her after the appointment, tell her the things that I love, tell her the things that I wanted to change. We do a little quick tweak and I'd go back out in the field again and work. And so really I had to figure out how to stay connected, even though I wasn't going to the success meeting. I listened to a lot of CDs and tapes. Oh my gosh, I'm aging myself, but you guys know what I mean. I listened to a lot of training segments from people who were where I wanted to be. Anytime the company offers an opportunity for you to be in front of people who are really blazing the trail with their businesses, that is what I mean when I say plug in to your leader and those who are where you want to be. Next, I had to create a tight schedule because I was in school, so I had to study. I had time with my child. I was working full time. And so a tight schedule for me was if I was going to go to a success meeting, I had that time blocked out. And if I was going to hold a class or a party, I had that time blocked out. And when there was Bible study, I had that time blocked out, right? So my schedule was tight. When I said I was going to do something, I was doing it. If I had a party that canceled, I would then do customer care calls or a sellathon. I used to call it a sellathon. So in that hour time that I would have been doing a party, I would instead do a sellathon and do customer care calls or selling games with my customers. But if it was a time for me to work, I was going to work. If it was a time for me to play, I was going to play with no regrets because my schedule was always so tight. I always stayed organized. That's my next point. Stay organized. Let me tell you, one of my girlfriends would always say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And so I always had my trays. This sounds really small, but it was such a big deal for someone who had such a busy schedule. But I always had my trays ready to go. I always had my starter kit cleaned and ready to go. When I came home from one party, I took the time to set it up for the next party. And so when it was time to go, I didn't have to get it ready. I could just pick it up and leave. I kept my products organized. Now listen, I'm not telling you that you need to spend hours organizing product because as quick as I was organizing it, it was leaving my shelf as well. But I kept things organized. I kept things in place. If someone wanted to stop by, there was a visual that they could see all the products that I have. And it was a lot of times that I would upsell. So it was just a matter of me staying organized and ready at all times. And then I was very disciplined. I kind of touched on that already. Sometimes I worked 2 hours a week, and then I was eventually able to move it up to 4 hours a week. And eventually I got up to probably as much as 15 hours a week, working my business very, very part time. And so when I say you have to be disciplined with your time, that's what I mean, you guys. Blazing the trail in a business when you've never seen another person in your family be an entrepreneur, when you're not really able to be in the same city as your recruiter. Discipline with your time is crucial because we can get inside of our heads and we can start to be resentful of the time that we're spending building our businesses. Or when we're having playtime or free time with our family, we're worried about what we should be doing in our businesses. And that's not how it works. And so the discipline for me was really strict. I say strict, but not, it was in a weekly plan sheet. It was always listed. My family knew what I was going to be doing, when I was going to be doing it. And that way, we could organize our life around, my schedule of school, work, building a Mary Kay business. It was all in one place so that we could organize and be disciplined with it. And it passed on to my children. They were able to create that same kind of discipline and tight schedule for their lives in school and sports and things like that. And then that just trickles right on down to what I was going to share next. Include your family in everything. Everything. My kids were able to help me put labels on the back of my products. They were able to help me bag the products. They knew that, we were working towards a fabulous trip for the family, or we were working on a new electronic gig device for the family. So they always felt like they were connected. But in that process of helping the family to build our Mary Kay business, they got a lot of skill sets that they're able to use today. So when I think about blazing a trail for you as a beauty consultant, it is really going to be whatever you have to do that is different, that looks different from the way it's being laid out. Right now, it might be the fun of being able to work your business and do it in person, and at the same time have someone else that's watching and they're virtual. I love working that way. I used to take a facial with me to a party. Now I can do a party in someone's home and then set it up where I have someone else that is watching virtually and building. Just being able to create different ways. And as you do that in selling the product, people who are watching you are also going to start to think wow, this is going to be something that I can create and put into my life, and I can work this differently for me. So, not only are you going to be selling product and building customers, but by blazing this trail of doing things differently, the way that it fits your family, you're also going to be able to teach another woman how to build a business for her family. Okay. So, I'm just telling you, be a boss babe, be a bad chick, blaze a trail, and do it the way you need to do it to have an incredible Mary Kay journey.